Ba-da-da. Hello, World Wide Web. I'm Becker Shado, the other person out with the best hair, and welcome to Live and Wired, episode 12, Nostalgia Hell. And joining, as always, Patricia Miranda.
Hello, everyone.
And that long-haired, creepy guy.
Continuing again to broadcast in live from Potato Vision.
That came out slightly wrong. Look, I'm gonna get more fanfics written, aren't I?
Yes. You essentially just purred right after introducing that long-haired creepy guy. So there is some.
And here I was thinking that Decker had forgotten all about me now that his Markiplier Tasteful Nudes calendar came.
Oh yeah, so I don't have it with me here. It's at my place. This is my old place. It's confusing. Still don't got internet. Spectrum has been, you know the things you do around with the jerking. That's my situation.
Yes.
Oh.
I don't think you phrased that quite right.
not. Oh, God damn it.
Maybe he phrased it so wrong that in some ways, maybe it is right. That way we can be able to talk about it for years to come.
Oh, there's at least 3 new fanfiction creepy Decker crossovers that's just been
and it just snowballs from here.
But yes, today's episode is Nostalgia Hell, because we had to use that title eventually.
Yes, and pretty much, I mean, with all the stuff that's been going on that's not E3, it pretty much is at this point, which, for those who are wondering, E3 is today. We started off with EA, with sports, and more sports, and a little bit of Battlefield and Star Wars and all that other stuff. We'll get to that later.
Kevin Burdine is saying, Decker, we miss your live shows. You're awesome. I think he's probably referring to in the gaming channel, and I haven't done that because I haven't been here where I do have internet, sort of, and I don't have internet at my new place. It's just Spectrum.
Yeah, like a lot of, I had to post an announcement explaining why, hey, there hasn't been any Tokuhiro Rift tracks recently. Well, that's because Decker doesn't have internet where he lives.
I mean, I can do Live and Wired because it's at a very specific time, so I just come here, do that, go back. Mm-hmm. Come here, upload, go back. Yeah.
Tell them the story that you were telling me before before Patricia showed up. About the whole.
Today we're supposed to Spectrum, and this is a little bit of a non sequitur. That has nothing to do with the news, but it's the fun. You're gonna love this story. You're gonna have a smile on your face thinking of my pain. So Spectrum said that they were gonna come by today to lay down the wires. Because the neighbor's house, they got internet, but we don't. And they can't do the installation because we got a 9-acre lawn. So, yeah, it's a bit of a distance. It's more than 300 feet to the main box. So that would have too much degradation for them to allow. So they need to bring the main line closer before we can actually get an installation going. However, they didn't show up today, and my fiance was calling her mother, lives in the house right next to us, like about 5 feet away, because she was the one calling to get the lines put in. Say, hey, has Spectrum called? They're supposed to call ahead of time before coming out. Have they called? And she's like, nah, you can call. And I'm like, last month, when we were calling back and forth trying to get it done for our respective houses, they kept getting confused and resetting each of our things and just going crazy. And was that a cat or was that a knock on the door? That was a cat. Okay. I thought it might have been a knock, but it was like I'm like, okay, cat knocked something over. Just Tara and Koban sitting out there looking at me like, what are you doing? But
we have a lot of comments saying, hey Decker, where's the hot sauce?
That's downstairs in the fridge where it's gonna stay. It's no.
Yeah, we don't want to have that thing happen again.
So we finally got her to call Spectrum, and she sent us a message back saying, They said that they messed up the scheduling, that we were actually scheduled for the 30th of this month. It was like, really? Really? Because last month on the 14th, when they originally said they were going to come, they said after they didn't come on that day that they had actually scheduled for the 31st of that month. Whoopsie doodle. I think this is just something they say. Call them back. Get them to come. Get them to do their job. Get them to lay the thing down. Bring down fire and brimstone if you have to. Tell them that we are suffering out here. We need the internet.
And this is why I wanted this story told. And live, so he can't take it back later.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, so yeah, still no internet. So I'm here where we got slow, but internet still exists. I'm trying to get a gigabit connection out there. Like, oh, ain't that going to be something? Woo-hoo, gigabit internet. But they won't let me give them money. Oh,
Sky Commander says, never change, Decker. And Heroes Draws Tamir says, such sweet suffering.
It says it in full caps. I read it more, such sweet suffering.
Yes.
Demonica666 says, Doom has Snapchat. Ugh.
Snapchat, eh?
In Doom?
Really?
Like in the game, did they patch that in? Or did I don't know. Or is it just on Snapchat now there's Doom filters? Because I can get behind that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, like, okay, this is how this scenario plays out to me. Like, you're running through, you're gunning down demons, you have this big freaking gun, and all of a sudden, like, ooh, I gotta take a snap of that and put it on Snapchat because someone comes up behind and frags you.
Here comes the beholder. I'm going to saw off his torso. Better take a selfie first.
He says no, like making the maps.
Oh.
Wait, that's Snap Map, not Snapchat.
Okay.
I'm confused now. I mean, it has no mods.
Huh. Sounds like when Nickelodeon was announcing that SpongeBob was going to get his own Instagram called Instaclam. So I guess it's the same equivalent.
DS6 Prophet asks, did you guys ever think of making some mini horror series of your own? I'd love to see Creepy Chase Decker as Jason Voorhees.
Well, they got to see me kind of chase you as actually it was Jason Voorhees. I was thinking it was something else. No, it was Jason Voorhees. So I was actually thinking I was down in the area where I had filmed that, and I was actually thinking to myself, I wish I had filmed that a little bit better, differently at the very least. I didn't have any context for how Decker's footage was going to look like while he was running through the woods, so I didn't have anything to base it on, so I just decided to film myself, and in hindsight, it didn't turn out very well. And I felt bad about that. But at the same time, like I said, the reason why it ended up looking the way it did is because I didn't have anything to go by. So I didn't know which angle I was supposed to be coming from or anything else. I just did what I just figured, I'll just film it this way.
Yeah, working over the internet is a very fun experience. It's like whisper down the lane with less people. But
we have a
$2. Yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
1237844 games for $2 on a super chat says, Decker, where's that sandwich you said would be here? I kind of ate it. There's a lovely, those chicken patties that you get frozen? I cooked 2 of them, put 2 slices of cheese and some mustard on that, 2 slices of bread. Very good.
Oh, good. Awesome.
Not bad for $2.
Yeah, there you go.
And if you break down the actual cost of the pieces of bread and the cheese and the packs and the 10-pack of the chicken patties, I don't know. But we actually have news to talk about, not just Spectrum and cheese packs, and the fact that evidently I have a card now that I haven't seen yet.
Yeah, so what should we be talking about? Should we be talking about the fact that various things got canceled, some things are going to be coming back, or trailers, or E3? Because, E3. That's what pretty much everybody's going to be seeing over the next couple of days.
I think we should start on what will be the title card for this once it's done processing on YouTube and I'm allowed to change the title card on the live stream.
Sure, no problem. All right, so I'm sure that a lot of people already know about that we're getting a Bumblebee movie. But because of that, the Transformers 7 that was going to be coming out, done by Michael Bay, because of course, it's been canceled. Woo!
Okay, I'm over it.
All right, who wants to read this one?
Okay, I could give it a shot.
All right, then.
Let me just move this window here. Okay. It's official. Paramount is pulling the plug on Transformers 7. The studio has dropped the so-called Transformers 7. Apparently, Bumblebee is considered Transformers 6 from their release date schedule. The film was previously slated to arrive in theaters on June 28, 2019. Bumblebee, the spin-off film helmed by Laika Boss and Kubo and the Two Strings director Travis Knight, is still scheduled for December 21st, 2018. Ooh, that's the winter solstice.
Yes.
That's Yule. Yay.
Hooray. Nothing to celebrate Christmas than watching a car transformed and having the budding friendship between a girl and her car. Lovely. Nothing to celebrate the holiday and give you the warm fuzzies.
Back in February, we reported that the Transformers franchise might be headed towards a reboot following Bumblebee after Hasbro's investor preview for the 2018 New York Toy Fair didn't include any live-action Transformers sequels in the upcoming Hasbro Paramount movies slate. The news isn't particularly surprising after the last night, which fizzled out at the domestic box office. The film fared better overseas, but the final sum tallied only $605.4. I think that might be a misprint. Because, damn!
Yeah, they made us $605.04. Like, holy crap. I mean, I've heard of like independent movies that have bombed in the box office, or various movies that only showed in like 500 movie theaters and then they just pulled the plug like a week later. But wow, that must have sucked.
It's an impressive sum, $605. You can get like 2 Nintendo Switches. But a long fall from the billion-plus days, Dark Side of the Moon, and Age of Extinction. For his part, longtime director Michael Bay, who helmed the first 5 films in the Transformers franchise, made no bones about the fact that he was done directing. Transformers film during the last night press... What? I think that there is a few typos here.
Yeah, I think that last night is...
I feel like I'm reading a visual novel.
Yes.
Oh, well. So, for those actively looking for more toy-based content, no, not to worry, Paramount and Hasbro have a whole list of other team-ups on the docket. Last year, the studio set the release date for G.I. Joe, Micronauts, Dungeons and Dragons, and another yet-to-be-titled collaboration. I'm pretty sure that has something to do with toys.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for the most part. So, yeah, finally, after like almost close to like at least a decade, because the first Transformers movie came out in 2007, if you can believe it. So, yeah, what are your thoughts that this franchise is finally over?
I feel like after the second, it kind of ran its course.
Yeah.
It's like the first one was like, wow, that's special. The second one was like, it's not special anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
let's be honest. I mean, everybody's pretty much made fun of the fact that you had those gangsta Autobots, and then the line of "I'm behind, I'm under enemy scrotum." It's like you can't beat that. You really can't.
Kevin Schaefer is asking another D&D movie, and yeah, evidently we talked about that on a previous.
Yeah, we did. We did talk about it in a previous episode.
There was already a third. There was already a third Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then again, that one I could only get on Blu-ray from a German DVD, so maybe not too many people know about it.
I can remember going to see the third film, and I went with my godmother, believe it or not. Like, she wanted to see the third Transformers movie, and we kind of walked out of it, and we went to get pizza afterwards, and we just kind of sat there. And we're trying to, like when two people sit together across from each other and there's this really uncomfortable topic, and part of you is trying to figure out how to broach it, and the other part of you just doesn't want to at all. That was what talking about Transformers 3 was like for the two of us. We were just sitting there, and like eventually we got going, and the thing that we kept talking about was all the stupid things that kept happening in that movie that just really felt like they shouldn't have. One thing that I remember she targeted was the fact that the Decepticon that took over the satellite and was using it to spy on, the American intelligence, basically, and reporting it back to the Decepticons. And she was like, that's like intelligence 101. That's like the first thing you look for, is to see if if some weird shit starts happening, you see if your intelligence is compromised. So how come they didn't get it?
Yeah. You got a $5 question from a comment, I'm sorry, from Blood Buzz Ohio, who says, I love you, Decker.
Thank you very much. No, I'm just a dude on the internet making well, sometimes on the internet making videos. The channel really would not exist without the fan base. Like, you guys keep it going. You really do.
Hey, Creepy, you have a comment from Tony Dunlap, who says, Creepy, can you give a shout out to my nephew Neil?
Hello, Neil. Nice to meet you, or see you, or hi, Neil.
Hi, Neil.
You're awesome.
Okay.
Neil is awesome, everyone.
This is actually
Mr. Drake is asking for Summer of Halloween.
Ooh,
and that does have something to do with something that came up yesterday.
Oh, yes, that's right. So I can't show you the trailer, sadly, because we will get severe copyright strikes. And we don't want to have...
thinking, Patricia, I don't mean to interrupt, but
No, please.
For Live and Wired in the future, I'm thinking for these trailers and stuff, maybe once I get the internet going at the new place, I could just download, edit together my own little cut that will sneak around the content ID filter and be just a little quick tease. So people have a better idea of what we're talking about. So it's just like a 20-second little supercut of a trailer. Something that we can actually show something.
All right, but for the sake of it, I'm just going to show a picture. So, now we can finally talk about the biggest thing that everybody has been requesting over in the comments. The trailer for the new Halloween movie came out yesterday. And the movie will be coming out on October 19th. And from looking at the trailer, they seem to be ignoring pretty much every single Halloween movie except the first one. They don't even acknowledge the fact that Michael Myers is Laurie Strode's sister. And apparently, according to the trailer, after Michael was shot by Dr. Loomis and crashed all the way down from the window, he was apparently captured and sent over to an asylum for or a prison for 40 years. And
so it's a pretty definitive way of saying the previous movies didn't happen. It's like, where was he? Right there. Not killing anybody.
Yeah, he was locked away for 40 years. And we have Jamie Lee Curtis, who has been preparing to kill off Michael Myers if he ever escapes, very similar to what she did in H2O. Mm-hmm. And Michael escapes, hardy har, big surprise. And he's basically going around and he's killing people. We have in this movie, we do have Laurie's daughter and her granddaughter, apparently.
You know what would be nice? Thinking of course he escapes, but I'm thinking, how could they have the movie work if he didn't? What if because she spent her life preparing to fight this guy who's incarcerated, maybe she just got thrown in the loony bin too, and then actually has to deal with him.
Actually, that would be that. Who would see that coming? Actually, I did like the concept of H2O. The idea that she's, she's had her life ruined by this guy, so she's trying to take agency and fight back. The problem is, I feel like the movie was maybe a little bit too... Okay, H2O came out.
Draven G has a comment about H2O here. It says, I think this one looks a lot more like a Halloween than H2O. That one just looked like an extended Dawson's Creek episode, but happened to have Michael Myers.
Right. H2O came out in the wake of Scream. So, and that was when, and after Scream came out and it was such a hit, every movie that was a horror film was trying to be Scream. So H2O kind of was like, okay, we want to be a Halloween episode, but we also want to be cool and hip, so we need to be Scream. There's also this show called Dawson's Creek that's also popular, so let's throw in some stuff there. And you ended up with a movie that almost felt like it was having an identity crisis. Like, I'm supposed to be scary and cool, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Andres Martinez says, "Bring back Busta Rhymes."
That is Halloween Resurrection, and yeah. Oh my God, yes. Let's bring
That
back
one was-
Buster. That movie. Oh my God.
That one was
we have
Resurrection
a,
was the one. Yeah.
10-pound super chat from Crowley. Crowley? He has no comment.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your
Thank you
for your
very-
donation.
Yep.
Anyway, but yeah, you're right, Creepy, that like right afterwards, I mean, the Halloween franchise had a bit of an identity crisis. Like Halloween 3 tried to distance itself away from the two previous movies because it was already done. Michael Myers was dead, and they tried to bring Halloween back to its original roots, but everybody hated it. So
the way I understand it, the way Halloween was originally kind of the concept of the Halloween name was sort of, these are going to be stories that take place around Halloween, kind of like Friday the 13th was. These are scary stories that take place around Friday the 13th.
Correct.
Right.
And Halloween 2 took place like on the same night. So it's still Halloween.
Exactly. It was going to be an anthology film series. Like nowadays you have things like American Horror Story. It was going to be that basically with the framing device being that the stories take place on Halloween, except they were films. But after the second film, they made Season of the Witch, which I can't say that everybody hated it, because Season of the Witch does have a following. It does have fans, although within that cult fan status, there's a lot of debate about whether it's actually a good movie or whether they enjoy it because it's a bad movie. But
you cannot deny that song that plays in the TV.
Mm-hmm.
And there's plenty of comments that come across my way that say, "Hey Decker, you really got to review the Halloween franchise. You can skip Season of the Witch if you need the time."
Right. Yeah. It's like, but when Season of the Witch tanked so bad, and the number one complaint seemed to be Michael Myers wasn't even in it, then they were like, okay, fine, just do whatever you have to, but bring back Michael Myers. The fourth film has to have Michael Myers in it. And then they got to, was it 4 or 5? There was Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, Halloween 5, The Curse of Michael Myers. And then for a few years, it seemed like, of course, after Curse, by the time Curse came out, it seemed like the slasher genre was already dead. And then Scream came out, and like I said, H2O, we have to make it like Scream now. So
and then Halloween Resurrection came out, and that was basically like it was trying to, if Halloween H2O was like, let's try to be Scream, Halloween Resurrection was, let's try to be Blair Witch Project.
Yes.
Oh, yay.
The horror of reality TV.
Fenrirdies says, "To be fair, Creepy, a lot of garbage has cult following because it's garbage." And also we got a $5 super chat from John Horn, says, "Can't stay long, Decker. I have work tonight, but enjoy the shekels. God fucking speed." Thank you very much, sir.
I have a whole other channel that is devoted to reviewing movies that are like really, really bad. Like, Decker gets the occasional Asylum film. I get the films that can't even aspire to that.
And I don't want to waste my time on that.
I have a bad movie.
Patricia's here like, what's wrong with you people? I look at Nickelodeon. I look at the things that make me happy.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me with everything that's been going on lately about like Sima Saragami and the whole, I'm dealing with creators who are involved with sexual harassment, so I have to deal with my personal shit.
And then Decker is like, "Oh yeah, I finally got away from reviewing so many Asylum films," and then he opens his mailbox and like 3 different people sent him 5 different Asylum films each because they were able to get them so cheap. And now he has half a year's worth of movies to review, and they're all Asylum films.
Yes, unless we forget that Asylum also branched out to do an animated movie, so there's that too. So yay!
I did not know that. What movies are they doing?
I texted that to not texted. I tweeted that to Decker, I think last year, in which they were branching out to do animated movies, and one of them it looked like Finding Nemo, and I was like, help! Oh God, no. Anyway, I think okay. So any final words about this Halloween 2018 trailer?
I was really I'm looking forward to it. It looks better to me than the Hellraiser trailer did, and the Hellraiser trailer did look okay. The movie was terrible, but the trailer looked nice. This looks like more interesting. I'm wondering if Jamie Lee Curtis's character can really stay charismatic and an awesome character to watch throughout.
You know, I'm really surprised that she's even in this movie at all, because right after she finished with Resurrection, I think there was like some talks about that she didn't want to talk about the Halloween franchise ever again. She was like so completely burned out by it that, I think there's even like a rumor stating that if she was ever interviewed for like a movie or something, then they were told don't mention Halloween or something.
Right.
Okay. That's just a rumor. I don't know if that's true.
Chats here. Ryan Walterson says for $5 Canadian, Asylum has made 3 animated movies: Izzy's Way Home, Trollland, and Cargo. Saber Spark reviewed 2 of them. They are awful. Also,
oh, joy!
Yakov Petrovic Golyandikin Sr. for $20 Canadian says, keep up the great reviews, Decker. You're the only one I can watch. Don't listen to the reviews. I just look at the hair. Little hair flip.
Sexy hair.
There we go.
All right. Yeah, I think we're pretty much done with the Halloween stuff. So, yeah, I'm actually curious, again, going into that, it's like, if this movie does well, are they going to just say, you know what? We were able to do a movie that was good and serviceable to the franchise. We're not going to do any more. Or if it does so successful, they're going to try to do it again, thinking that they'll strike lightning in a bottle.
The latter.
But speaking of horror sequels that I'm constantly being told I should do a summer special on, there's the Saw 9 rumor that has a bit to go on it. It's. I read the article. It's a little weird.
Oh, a little weed?
A little weird.
Little weird. Okay, yeah, well, everything about it is just weird.
They canceled so many things, but they felt that the one thing we really, really needed was yet another Saw film.
Nicole7891 is like, okay, but the car. Talk about the car. Decker, you said you got a car. I want to know about the car.
All right, I'm just going to scroll down so I don't get copyright strike for the trailer. So there you go. And it keeps popping up. Go away. I don't want you. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I'll read this one. Okay, the 9th... Oh, wait, are you seeing this right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, my screen's a little off. The 9th Saw film appears to have been confirmed by a divorce settlement agreement concerning Jigsaw actor Toby Bell. Wow, that's a way to confirm a movie. Yeah, I'm getting a divorce. Oh, by the way, the next Saw movie's coming out. Documents obtained by The Blast reveal Bell reached a settlement with estranged wife Elizabeth, with the papers establishing a stipulation between the two for Bell's role in the 9th Saw movie. If Bell profits from the newest horror installment, he has to reimburse his ex for taxes she'll pay from a monthly $8,000 spousal support Bell agreed to pay. The exact line says, if the Saw star received any compensation from any source of his participation in the 9th motion picture in the Saw series, at any time, he shall pay Elizabeth or reimburse her for all of the combined federal and California income tax liability incurred on the spousal support she receives. The documents don't propose the deal only if Saw 9 happens, indicating Bell might have already participated in some early stages of the project. The Blast further reports Bell is only obligated to pay Spellstill support through December 2019, which could be a sign the sequel could arrive before that time. So yes, anybody who's a fan of Saw, the reason why the Saw movie is going to be coming out is not because, oh, they left it on a cliffhanger or they're going to continue the story. It's because the guy who plays as Jigsaw needs to pay off his wife reimbursement fees.
Actually, he only needs to pay the he has to pay the $8,000 no matter what, but he only has to pay the taxes she would end up having to pay on the $8,000 and the income thing and all the extra California bill if he makes any money, not even a certain amount, but just any money at all. So I'm wondering, like, he either has to get paid a lot or just go pro bono.
So Saw. I mean, there was a Saw movie that came out, like, what was it, last year? And that was supposed, and I think it was just simply titled Saw. So now there's possibly going to be a Saw 9, and yeah, I'm actually curious. What are your thoughts?
I mean, in the article, there was also something talking about how Saw 6 was touted as the last Saw, and I'm thinking, well, no shit, every Saw is touted as the last Saw. The only thing that's surprising me about this is that we're hearing about the news of a potential Saw 9 from stipulations in a divorce agreement, rather than from.
Oh, the movie's called Jigsaw. Sorry, guys, I don't know anything about this stuff.
Jigsaw,
okay.
Not Saw. Okay.
Okay, that makes sense because there was already an original Saw. It's like, oh, the new movie's called Saw. Wait, that was the first movie. No, it's just called Saw. It's like, no, it's actually Jigsaw. Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, there's if we had heard of it from an official source, I swear I would have heard about how it's going to be the last one, the finale, every loose end's going to be tied up that you didn't even know were loose. It's such a tight knit little story here.
Oh man.
Oh. Now everyone's asking about the car.
All right, go ahead and talk about it, man.
Might as well.
I have not seen it. I don't know what year it is. I know like 3 things about it. Well, okay, I know a little more than 3 things. I know how much I'm paying for it. I know how much it's I know how much I'm paying for it. I know how many doors it has. I know what color it is, and I know the manufacturer and model, just not the year.
That's 4 things.
Okay, so it's a 2-door Chevy Cobalt in red, and it's got a brand new engine and clutch. It's a standard, stick shift, and my fiance's brother has decided to part with it for the low price of $4,000.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to be paying it in $200 installments per month, but hey, she put the $1,000 down so we could have it in the driveway right now, and it's in our driveway. And my fiance has the key and sent me a picture of that on Skype, and I'm like, can I see the car? That's the part that's confusing me.
Yeah, I'm really happy for you that you're finally getting a car.
Yeah, awesome. It's got 4 wheels, I assume. Windows. It actually goes forwards and backwards.
Yeah, I mean the AC. My fiance's mother thought the AC was broken and needed to be fixed, but it's Freon, and evidently it just needed more Freon.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know AC. I know car a little. I mean, I know how my summer car works. I got an idea.
Yeah. How many mileage does it have so far?
Well, it's got a brand new engine, so.
Oh, nice. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how brand new, like a couple of months versus a couple of weeks.
Congratulations on the new engine and the new used car.
Yes.
Zero Cool 666 says Decker had a compromise. He gets a car with 3 wheels and no brakes.
Hey, look at the bright side. At least he doesn't have to go all Fred Flintstones, in which there's no wheels and he has to run with it with his feet.
That's true.
Kevin Burdine saying it's too much for that car new. I just wanted to have a car in the driveway, and I figured, hey, if a brother tries to give us a raw deal here and give us a lemon, he's going to have to deal with that for every Thanksgiving for the rest of his life.
That's true.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mm-hmm. So,
All right, so what do you want to hear more of? Do you want to hear some more depressing news, or we should talk about something a little bit more happier?
let's go with something happier.
Okay, well, I got something really cool that I found just a couple of days ago. So, I actually learned about this, once again from Cinemassacre's Monster Madness. But in one of James's discussions, he talked about a 1970s variety show from Canada called The Hilarious House of Frankenstein, which had Vincent Price in it, and there was like a whole bunch of sketch comedy, like skits involving with like a witch and a vampire and a werewolf and stuff like that. Well, it's coming back with some brand new episodes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a Canadian show from the 70s. Forgive me, I did not see this. I didn't catch this one when I was young.
Yeah,
well,
I didn't either.
Fair, it was Canadian exclusive, so none of us had actually ever seen it. So for all you Canadians out there who grew up with this show during the 70s, then I'm sure that you're probably really excited to hear about this. Although
I was born in Vermont, so I guess there was a chance I could have caught it in syndication.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, go ahead, Creepy. Why don't you read this one?
Looking at this, I am reminded of Groovy Ghoulies. But
yeah, I was just about to say, Groovy Ghoulies or Gravedale High.
I do remember Gravedale High. Good news for fans of 1970s Canadian comedy. The best kind of comedy. Yes. Hilarious Out of Frightenstein is being primed for a comeback. According to Kidscreen, a newly formed production company called Headspinner has bought the rights to make new material based on characters from the cult classic show. From the cult classic show. It has bought the rights to all 130 episodes of the show, as well as licensing, merchandising, and all other assets. The items were purchased from original producer Mitch Markowitz for an undisclosed amount. Markowitz will also help out in some capacity. So much?
$50, yes. And they're Canadian dollars, by the way.
Right. Markowitz will also help out in some capacity with a new version of the show, meaning they'll probably toss all of his ideas out. Headspinner co-founders Michelle Melanson and Ken Kuperis will showrun the new series, which is being developed with Canadian actor Sandy Jobin Bevans. The plan is to create a Bible, pilot script, and short demo for a new live-action Frightenstein series. They're also working on an animated series and a 50th anniversary special to air in 2021. So we weren't far off the mark with Groovy Ghoulies. Securing the rights was not easy because most of the people that were part of the property have since passed, Melanson said. But once we got to know Mitch personally and launched Headspinner, we convinced him we were the right fit in terms of rebooting the franchise for a new generation. We all grew up with the show, especially if you were from the Toronto area. It was a staple in our home, and for Ken, who grew up in Winnipeg, the series was a massive part of his childhood as well. This is interesting. This last part is interesting to me because I know, and well, really all three of us know someone who is from that area. Y-Boy, who does cartoon. Well, it was once called Cartoon Corner. Now it's called Toon Grin. His internet review series. He lives in the Toronto region. It's either Toronto or Ontario one. I should probably look that up. But he's Canadian and he lives, in that general area. And it does make me wonder if he ever saw this show. Although he was born well after the 70s were over, but again, reruns. So I wonder if he knows anything.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be so sure because Y-Boy, he does discuss about like various cartoons and other movies, and I mean, with the exception of maybe like Scooby-Doo and other stuff, I'm not sure if he covers like anything like this. We'll have to definitely ask him when he's available.
Right.
I just down. Do they show boobs?
No.
No. No
okay,
boobs.
I didn't see it yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Ryan Walterson for $5 says only the channel is called Toon Grin. He still does his show under the name Cartoon Corner.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
it is true that, his show is called Cartoon Corner, but there was a time in which even his YouTube channel was called Cartoon Corner.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm actually really interested on this. I mean, I did see like a few clips of the of this particular show, and it does look pretty interesting. I mean, you have Vincent Price, and you have like all these various skits about like you have a witch who's doing like concoctions, and you have this storyteller who basically like puts himself to sleep, and it's actually pretty hilarious at points. I mean, it's a little bit
Pretty
like
sure they can't get Vincent Price back.
No, they can't.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be possible.
No.
Disappointing to hear too, because I mean, is there anyone here present who did not like Vincent Price? Just who thinks of Vincent Price and goes, I really don't like that man.
His work.
I don't think so. Not that I know of. I mean,
that does bring up the question. Who would you want to see brought on for that kind of a show? A kind of horror comedy, kid-friendly sort of, hey.
Mark Hamill.
That'd be fun, yeah. Mark Hamill.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, Saul, we got that one done. Okay.
Yeah.
We still need more people, though.
Yeah, you need more people, but I mean, seriously, think about it. He played the Joker for over a decade in the DC animated universe, and he has proven that he can be like he pulls off that mix of creepy and scary at the same time. So, yeah, I could easily see him hosting this.
Mm-hmm.
Griffin Pilgrim saying, if anyone could star when still dead, it would be Vincent Price.
That's true.
There's some that are still kind of poking around lately.
Yeah. There was even a joke on The Simpsons at one point where
I think it was Vincent Price.
Yeah, like where there was like someone doing a Vincent Price impersonation, but yeah, where he said the line, "The reports of my demise were greatly exaggerated," or something to that effect. So
but Kat Luniska says Robert Englund, perhaps.
Robert Englund.
That's true.
He did do a show before called Freddy's Nightmare, so I wouldn't be surprised if he did something like that.
Decker and I actually had
a little more lighthearted.
Yeah, Decker and I actually did a crossover doing that.
The legend, Kane Hodder.
Kane Hodder.
Maybe he wouldn't have the same kind of recognizability as everyone who doesn't cover themselves in a big hockey mask. I don't know.
Nikolay Semenov says Jeffrey Combs. Okay, I guess so. Patrick Johnson says Tommy Wiseau.
As long as he doesn't direct. Or, I thought of something really bad. Doug Walker.
Oh, too soon, man. Too soon. Jane Furston said Bruce Campbell. I guess so. Bruce Campbell would be cool.
Darkwolf told me dropped a $5 super chat. Says off topic, but could you possibly do a review on Deep Rising? And it's not on the schedule yet. There's so much to do. Oh, it's crazy. Things are crazy.
Yeah. Oh, Griffin Pilgrim says Brian Blessed. Yes, I want that in my life. Ooh, Big Jack Film says Brad Dourif. Ghost Rider 223 says Willem Dafoe. Oh, that'd be fun, yeah.
Yeah.
But to be fair, I think that if they are going to do this reboot, I think they're going to get Canadian actors just like in the original.
Yeah, that is believable.
So Jim Carrey? Question mark? I don't know, but we'll still. I'm sure that's going to be like somebody that we don't really know too well because we're not Canadian. But yeah, I don't think that there's not really much to say at this point. So yeah. I guess we can go over to some other stuff that is not very cheerful because we need to balance ourselves with the good and the bad. So we just discussed about a few moments ago that Transformers 7 is being canceled. There's something else that's being canceled. The Crow remake has been canceled.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right, Decker, you're next on this one.
Okay, exclusive by Mike Fleming Jr. So he writes this in the first person, so it's important to keep that in mind. This is Mike speaking. The Crow has seen its wings clipped yet again. Sources tell me Jason Momoa, and director Corin Hardy formally withdrew from the film this morning. This after Sony was close to
Exiting.
I can read as the film's worldwide distributor. I'm told this has to do with creative and financial differences with Samuel Hadida, whose David Films holds underlying rights and who was financing the film. Production was gearing up to start within the next 5 weeks in Budapest, and the picture was in full pre-production with Hardy presiding. Sony Pictures announced last September that it had picked up the film for worldwide distribution and announced an October 11th, 2019 release date. Insiders said the deal hadn't closed. My sources said Hadida's inability to close a deal with Sony left the studio in exit mode, and that directly precipitated the exits of the filmmaker and star.
Yeah, and here's some pictures and on his Instagram, and there you go, some more information.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, above is a social media confirmation by Hardy in happier times for the reimagination of James O'Barr's graphic novel that was turned into a 1994 movie starring Brandon Lee and directed by Alex Proyas. It also marks the second time the director exited the film. We're seeing a pattern here.
Yeah.
Hardy, whose next film is The Conjuring spin-off The Nun, made his live-action feature directing debut on The Hollow after drawing acclaim for his animated short Butterfly and for directing movie videos for Ed Sheeran and others. Okay, he did stuff and did things. Waiting for the response emails, and we'll update developments as they happen. Good for you.
All right. Yeah. More or less, this Crow remake has been canceled.
Right. It is kind of sad for me because I like the original.
I mean,
Crow
from what I could see there, he's like, my sources tell me so-and-so is backed out. They have backed out. It looks like it's in shambles. It's effectively looking like it's not being done, but I don't think anyone's actually come out and officially said, hey, guys, this isn't being done.
Yeah, but a good amount of people who were heavily involved in this movie have left. So that doesn't exactly make a good sign of, what's to come.
Yeah, that's it does seem pretty bad signs.
Yeah.
And I know that Jason Momoa is really looking forward to this. He was excited for being in this remake. I know because Jason Momoa was actually at MegaCon, where I was 2 weeks ago when I was in Orlando, and there was lines of people waiting to meet up with Momoa. It was insane. You can tell with his husky body and his muscles and his flowing long hair, and he was also in a Q&A, I think, and there were talks about his upcoming projects, and I think there was a brief talks about that he was really excited about doing this movie, but. Yeah, it's a shame that he wasn't a part of it.
So yeah, I mean, on the one hand, there was all the discussion about would a Crow remake reboot be sacrilegious effectively with the fact that the original Brandon Lee, his last picture for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And,
but to be fair, there was a sequel to The Crow that came out a few years later.
Yeah, I haven't really read the kind of the consensus of the critics or public at the time. Two things that can be very different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. But to be fair, I think that we talked about this a while ago, that there was discussion about that they were going to be having various characters for this remake, including a female Crow, like a spinoff or something.
Yeah, I think we did talk about that. It was pitched, the idea. There was a comic that had a female Crow, and we were talking about how...
says there are 5 Crow movies, and they're all shit.
Really? Okay. Well, I'm wrong then.
Yeah, but there was a female Crow comic book series, and we were talking before in an earlier episode about how, hey, let's have a female Crow this time.
Yeah. And I think that was I think that conversation was what sparked us talking about what slasher villains or what iconic movie monsters we wanted to see make female.
Right.
So yeah, I guess I mean there's no new information about like that particular spin-off, but you know the remake of the original is as we know right now is either no more as stated on that particular article, or is going to be pushed off to the side for now until like they get somebody else, maybe like a new a new actor and a new director and all that stuff. So yeah, it's still yet to be determined.
Yes, on that, I can post the Live and Wired poll for this Live and Wired on Twitter at Decker Shadow. We have this question burning into your brains. If one of these could be real and available now, what would you pick? First choice, Bay Transformers 7. I would put Michael Bay's Transformers 7, except there's not enough space. I can't even put Michael there. I can fit Bay Transformers 7. The Crow remake, Alien 5, that got kicked around a while ago. You might remember that. That was before Live and Wired, though, so we didn't talk about it. Or a little punch in the gut from today, Skate 4. That is going right now, 30 minutes. I will be giving Patricia the link and adding that to the description in just a second.
And as always, I will be putting that in the chat.
All right.
Thank you. All right, guys, you got 30 minutes, so have fun. All right. Yeah. So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about another trailer that came out not too long ago. So we discussed about this in CinemaCon 2018, where we talked about a whole bunch of other movies that also came out around that time. Any particular trailers and discussions. So we talked about Suspiria, which was a 1977 movie by Dario Argento, which is about a girl who joins a ballet school, and it turns out to be a coven of witches involved in it. So now
it's not just normal.
Yeah,
it's just a movie about joining ballet. Let's be honest.
Yeah. So there you go. We there is a trailer for it that has been released, and unfortunately, we are not able to play the trailer because once again, copyright claims. But we do have a little bit of information about it. So, let's see, whose turn is it to read? I guess it's my turn.
I think it's my turn actually.
Okay, go ahead, Creepy.
If you want to go ahead.
No. Please go.
Okay. Sit down and hold your breath. The first trailer for Luca Guadagnino. Thank you.
Sure.
Suspiria has debuted, and it's a stunner. Amazon Studios horrified press at CinemaCon when it debuted the first footage from the director's reimagining of Dario Argento's horror classic, and now everyone can see what the buzz is about in the teaser trailer below, which we cannot show to you here. Described by Guadagnino, that guy, as an homage and not a remake, Suspiria follows Dakota Johnson as an aspiring dancer who just uncovers something evil within her prestigious dance academy. Are they turning young girls into Black Widow assassins, I wonder? The film marks a reunion between this guy and Johnson after a bigger splash. The supporting cast includes Mia Goth, Chloe Grace Moretz, original Suspiria star Jessica Harper, and
that guy.
That guy, regular Tilda Swinton. Suspiria arrives in theaters almost a year after his previous effort, Call Me By Your Name. Amazon Studios will open the horror film in theaters November 2nd.
Yes.
I should have let you take this one after all.
That's okay. So yeah, what are your thoughts on the trailer if you guys have seen it?
It was a sort of confusingly artsy horror. Like there's so much. I get this is probably going to be a very pretty looking movie.
Yeah, pretty much that's what the original is. It's all about the art and the atmosphere.
And I haven't seen the original, so I didn't have too much to work on.
Okay, that's fair enough. But from the looks of it, it does definitely feel like the original, except I think there are like a few tweaks into it from what I can notice, but it does look really interesting. From what I remember from the original, it was like one of the last Technicolor movies, and it's a very colorful, atmospheric movie, like with the windows and the shots of the like the blood and all that stuff, and it's really creepy. But yeah, it's a very colorful horror movie, which is a little bit unusual to say at least.
Whew. Yeah.
But yeah, I know that you definitely want to check out the original at some point. So who knows? Maybe when the movie does come out, maybe you will take a look at the original at some point.
There's so many movies that I have to watch. I have to. I think what there's too many. Immortality. There we go. Either that or cocaine.
Sure.
You said that it looks like an artsy movie. A lot of Italian horror films are, to a degree or another, well, not all of them, but a lot of them have that artsy avant-garde flair to them. In fact, that's, one thing that simultaneously makes them popular with one group of people, and another, like everyone else, hate them.
Glenn Talbot's telling me to watch the Cinema Snob review of Suspiria. And I mean, that's an idea, except I like the Cinema Snob as a character. I do like Brad Jones' reviews there. It's just when he does a Cinema Snob review, most of the time I really have no idea what happens in the movie. And I've seen some pretty terrible things in his show. I've been traumatized by some of Brad's reviews. Everyone knows about the E.T. one. Oh jeez. But yeah, there's really not all that much non-E3 news.
Yeah, pretty much. It's been pretty quiet. I mean, I know that there's another Predator trailer that came out just this week. But I didn't want you to see it in case your blood boiled. I mean, you already suffered a couple of weeks ago with the hot sauce. Maybe we'll save that for next time. So let's go over to some social media news, because we always love that. Not YouTube this time around, but it is kind of like that in a sense. So this time around, we're not going to be talking about YouTube. We're actually going to be talking about Instagram. Because, yeah, Instagram. So, Instagram reportedly wants to be like YouTube now.
Because they're going to just straight up delete half of your stuff and ban you from just an algorithm, and then you got to go through the hoops of saying, no, actually, and I got to take a picture of my face in the bathroom, and then it's going to get hit by a claim, but Fox says they own it. It's going to be wonderful.
Yes, it's going to be amazing. All right, so on Wednesday, TechCrunch reported that Instagram is looking to partner with content creators and publishers to develop long-form video content that might live on its own tab, somewhat akin to Snapchat Discover. This follows a recent Wall Street Journal report that said Instagram is experimenting with enabling users to share videos up to an hour long with a particular focus on vertical videos.
On the one hand, I understand being a vertical video site. There's an interesting little angle to go on, but who the fuck wants to hold a phone and watch a video on their phone for an hour?
Yeah, and this isn't. And remember, Instagram. I mean, there's no. From what I understand, there's no possibility of like pausing or rewinding or fast forwarding. So yeah, you're gonna have to sit there and watch it, like if you're going to a movie theater. Okay. It seems the YouTube and Snapchatification on Facebook's properties is still in full bloom. The appearance of longer-form videos may be the first change immediately noticeable to Instagram users, but TechCrunch reports that these new videos might even occupy their own tab in the app or even a standalone app. Instagram has met with creators to discuss ways they can make content for this new platform, TechCrunch reports. This news might be causing you a bit of deja vu. When Facebook started pushing Facebook Watch, it depended on partnerships with people like LeVar Ball, a father of basketball prodigies, for shows like Ball in the Family. not to be confused with a parody of All in the Family, but I digress. Despite the attention Facebook has put towards Watch to date, it hasn't become a serious competitor to services like Netflix or YouTube. Because, the whole point of Instagram is to take pictures. But, okay. The addition of longer videos could help Instagram cultivate new forms of content on the platform beyond photos of dogs and its highly popular Snapchat-inspired stories. But an Instagram continuously adds more stuff to the platform. It may shift from being the preferred app for people who mindlessly scroll. Instagram is slowly ballooning into a space where users are asked to devote more time towards their screen instead of being able to pop in and out. We've reached out to Instagram for comment on the reports and will update you with any response. Oh, God.
It's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
That was aimed at, by the way, the thumbs up.
Oh, God.
Instagram.
Lazarus Soul 82 says, Ball in the Family? Ew.
Yes, now I want to see a triple X version of the All in the Family theme song.
Oh,
those were the days.
I'm seeing Instagram say, "Hey, we'll be a platform," even though Instagram is owned by Facebook, if I'm not mistaken. So it's really just taking that Facebook thing that didn't work on Facebook, we're going to do it again on the other thing we own. On the one hand, maybe it'll come to fruition, but still is. I mean, I don't see any ads running on Instagram videos, and I don't see that happening anytime soon. But some people do make money on Instagram, and merchandising is a way. And if it's a thing, I mean, there's a possibility. But I'm looking at it like they have a focus on vertical videos. Can I translate my videos to vertical and get it to work with their system that they're trying to do? Because widescreen is very important for showing off things quite a lot.
Yeah, and also I mean, this is a pet peeve that I have, but I am not a big fan of when somebody is recording a video with vertical like the vertical perspective. I always like it horizontal because it's actually like a larger screen and you can be able to see details, as opposed to like in vertical, it's basically just it's all black barriers and then it's like this little thin indication of what you're watching. Yeah, I've never been a huge fan of vertical, videos. I've always been a huge fan of horizontal. It's just, hey, if you want to record something, flip your phone sideways so you can be able to show off everything. It's not that difficult.
And if you're holding your phone in your hand, it's easier to hold it vertically.
Yeah.
But if you're watching a video for an hour, it's easier to not do it in your hand, and it's easier to find a kickstand that puts your phone horizontal. Perhaps says oof the damn Roblox oof.
Yeah, it pretty much is. That's pretty much it. Oof. That's a perfect way to say it.
Oof.
Kevin Burdine is asking, how about a Punk Brewster movie deck? I think he means Punky Brewster.
Punky Brewster. That's awesome. Yes, let's have a summer of Punky Brewster and Boss.
Oh, jeez.
Would Punky Brewster be an actual punk this time, though?
That would be cool. Brewster. Yeah, Punk Brewster. Let's have a reboot instead of like female character. Let's have it switch into a male character where it's Punk Brewster, and he's going around as a gangster, fighting off.
You could still have Punk Brewster be female. I don't see a reason to change the gender. Just
they always talk about like, why do they always have this character flipped over to female? It's not necessary. Rawr. So I don't know, but yeah, that would be awesome. We need to have a Punky Brewster special. There's no movie. I mean, no, there is a movie. Or is there? Or is that no? That's the TV show, and then there was the animated series.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry, there was no Punky Brewster movie. That would be awesome, though. I mean, I've seen Salil Moonfry. She played as Punky in the original, and she posts on like Twitter and Instagram, and she has a daughter who's like the spitting image of Punky when she was like the younger version. So I think that would be freaking awesome. And yeah, that would be great. Let's, Punky Brewster remake with Salil Moonfry's younger daughter. Also, Salil Moonfry also does a lot of like voice acting for, some of you guys who already know. She was Zoe in The Proud Family.
She was she didn't do like there was a throughout the 90s, I think. She did do like some work, but she wasn't especially active or prominent, for a long time. But then I think
I
first
reviewed a few movies with her in it.
Right. I think it was after the TV series Sabrina the Teenage Witch, after the character made it to college. That was the point where it felt like she was starting to make it back into the mainstream consciousness again.
Yeah, she's also done like a few, voice acting roles over the '90s as well. She was in Tiny Toons. She was in Ren and Stimpy. She was in Sabrina, and that was kind of like where she basically like kickstarted her like her acting career a little bit back for a new generation. And then she like I said before, she also did The Proud Family, and she also did a few other roles as well. But yeah, that'd be fun. Decker doing Punky Brewster. That would be amazing.
Wait.
Yes. X-Spawn says Punky versus the Olsen twins.
Oh, God.
Punky, the Olsen twins.
Oh,
Let's throw in Clarissa and Blossom.
Yeah, there we go. Patrick Johnson says she was also in Pumpkinhead 2, Blood Wings. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably where I remember saying Soleil Moonfry.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a name that sticks in your head. There's not too many people named that.
All right. Well, what were we talking about again? Oh yeah, that's right. We were talking about Instagram. All right.
Right.
So, are either of you going to be making translating your shows to Instagram videos?
I don't think so. I don't. I mean, unless Instagram can be able to help me with stuff that YouTube cannot, then I completely doubt it.
I'm just saying, like, most of my shows, like, could I edit this, maybe, but then I get to the part, well, what about when I'm here and talking to myself? Shit. Oy.
All right. Let's do a few more articles right before we move on to E3 stuff, because
right. Are there any more articles?
Yeah, we have one.
There's one.
We have one more.
Oh.
Yay. Okay, so about this time last year, there was a new Netflix series based off of a video game franchise. It was Castlevania. It was only like a few episodes long, but it did generate like a huge amount of buzz. And there were already, we're going to be having season 2 this coming summer. Well, for those who are wondering, what about season 3? Is that going to happen? Well, as soon as I push this button to get screen share to work, because of course it's not going to work for me, we're getting a season 3. So, hooray!
Yay!
All right, so whose turn is it to read this one?
I think it's mine.
Okay, great. Go ahead.
Coming in the summer of last year, the Netflix-produced animated Castlevania series gathered a surprising reception in its adaptation of the beloved series of games. And now, it appears Netflix is preparing for more adventures with the Belmonts in the future.
If no one ever punches a wall and finds a turkey that they then eat and get better, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Over at Digital Spy, actor Richard Armitage, who voices the series Trevor Belmont, revealed that Netflix is at work on producing a 3rd season of the network's animated adaptation of the acclaimed game series. Specifically, Armitage revealed that we're about to record a 3rd in reference to beginning work on a 3rd season of the series, after wrapping voice work for season 2. The series' 2nd season hasn't aired just yet. Given the track record, with most video game to film adaptations, Castlevania has proven to be one of the few exceptions to the rule by giving fans a high-quality production, and the series renewal by Netflix is definitely an encouraging sign for Castlevania fans that we'll see more of the show down the line. Netflix released the 1st season of Castlevania in July 2017, and was renewed for an 8-episode 2nd season, which is double of what the 1st season provided. The same day that it debuted. No official release date has been announced by the network yet for the Season 2 debut, though it is expected to arrive sometime this summer.
Yes. I've actually did see it last year when the buzz was going everywhere. Frederator actually posted it a lot because they were the ones, executive producing the series, and being a part of the Frederator YouTube network, I did have a chance to take a look into it, and I wanted to do a video of it, but I didn't have the time because that was when I was doing We're in Between at that point. But I did see it, and it's pretty freaking awesome. I if any of you guys are huge Castlevania fans, then I do recommend you guys check it out.
Rough Planet says Netflix is on meth with these game shows.
Castlevania game show, that would be great. Get 500 points by searching for the oak steak. Get 1,000 points by searching for the turkey leg in the wall.
Yeah, it'll actually be like Double Dare. You actually have to punch through the wall until you find the turkey and then eat it before time runs out. Or before your opponent does.
Or it'll be like Nick Arcade, in which kill 10 Medusa heads in 30 seconds or less. Before they kill you, which most likely they will kill you. You will die. But yeah, I'm really glad that they did. They did greenlit another season because one of my major gripes was that it was way too short. Only 4 episodes long was not enough to like build up the story and the lore of Castlevania.
It really was
the comments right now. Cat Lunisca says this show is awesome and bloody and violent. I'm going to watch it again. Perhaps says Secrets of the Hidden Turkey. Griffin Pilgrim says for the Castlevania game show, find the miserable little pile of secrets.
Love it.
Or the OVA that is released to coincide between seasons. I'm interested in this.
That's fantastic.
Thank you. Or maybe I should have gone with, what can I do for you?
I'm interested in this.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
What a horrible night to be down by 50 points in the final round. Patrick Johnson there.
Nicole7891 says, may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows.
See, now I want the Castlevania game show.
Me too. I want it so badly. That would be amazing.
The only way I can see this working, though, properly is if it's done like Nick Arcade or maybe Tales of the Crypt Keeper's Haunted House, where you answer the first 2 rounds are you answer a bunch of quiz show type questions, and then the final round between the 2 remaining contestants is you run through Dracula's castle, like a giant-sized mock-up of Dracula's castle full of...
Wait. What are we talking about, like linear classic Castlevania castles or Metroidvania-style castles?
Metroidvania-styled castles.
Oh, man. We're going to make it like Legends of the Hidden Temple or Finders Keepers.
Yes, exactly.
Oh no, look out, it's death coming for you spinning that side.
Or like all the Medusa heads, just the vroom, thunk.
That'll be like Wipeout. Just Medusa heads will sit in and just whack you off the platform, you fall into the water.
Yes. Griffith Pilgrim says, ever seen Nightmare? It Can Be Done. I've never heard of that show.
Nightmare.
That sounds interesting.
Hey, night. Was there jousting?
Ooh, that'd be cool. A night game show. That would be awesome. I'm gonna look it up really quick.
Okay, if they make the game show, it should be used the line from the Hunger Game movies. May the odds ever be in your favor, says John Lansky.
I offer myself as tribute to Dracula.
Griffin Pilgrim says Nightmare is an old British game show.
Oh, okay.
I do remember seeing clips of that. I do remember that. That was the one with the creepy wizard old guy as the show's host.
Okay.
Right? This sound. Why didn't I ever watch this? I was just watching Whose Line Is It Anyway?
It actually, I want to say it might have been aired on PBS at one point. There were a lot of British shows that ended up on PBS.
Yeah, there was also one. There was like a maze show that I remember airing like in the '90s as well, and I think Renee Jacobs played as like the one of the was like a character in that. I forget.
Was
what
it Masters of the Maze?
Yes, that's the one. Masters of the Maze.
I want to say I remember this, but it's like bits and pieces. I'm like, was it like Pac-Man? I want to say it's like Pac-Man.
Yeah, wasn't it hosted by Mario Lopez too?
I don't remember. Maybe it
or
was.
at least like maybe for a hot minute. But...
Okay. Kat Luniska says the Crystal Maze, but I remember this. What was this one freaking game show for kids where it was like you had to? Is that what we're talking about? I know. I just remember like it starts off and there's like the dressed kind of like a hooker AI lady or whatever the hell she was, and she goes in front of the blue screen and the star thing goes and all that shit, and then they bring on like the fucking 10-year-olds to play the game show. And they had to get through the challenges and they go through the maze and stuff, and they sucked at the maze. I never saw anyone do any good at the damn maze. They're like, oh my god, it's a stalactite. That's a wall. And I'm just there like, I'm like watching, I'm like 13. I'm like, go away!
Perhaps says, who remembers the crazy Japanese game shows with obstacles? That's every Japanese game show ever.
Ever, yes.
X-Spawn is saying the Crypt Keeper hosts the Running Man.
Does anyone remember the show Sasuke Ninja Warrior? I know they've made an American version of it.
American Ninja Warrior. Yeah, Sasuke Ninja Warrior. Yeah, I remember that.
I'm talking about the original one. It aired on. Damn it! Now I don't remember what the name of the channel was, but it aired in America on a cable/satellite network channel at one point, and I would always watch that show just because I thought it was awesome. And like they actually had stunt casting on the show where they would have up-and-coming celebrities or people that were recognized in Japanese media to try and run the obstacle course, and they would always like never make it past the first one.
Ryan Watterson donated $5 says, found it. The show was called Masters of the Maze.
Was that the one I was thinking of, or was
I think that was because I think there was like a maze and kids wandering around. Look up the pictures, definitely.
Yeah, I'm gonna Google this. Masters of the Maze.
Yeah. I also remember that there was like a time in which like various Japanese game shows will be leaked on the internet just for the sake of like you watch it and you're like, whoa, what is this? I remember when I first saw Wipeout, the Japanese version, for the very first time, and there was like a whole bunch of people getting like smacked and falling into the river and stuff like that. I couldn't stop laughing for like a week.
I remember there was actually a show someone linked. I don't remember who had linked me to it, but it was a show called Orgasm Wars, where they had this gay guy giving a straight Japanese porn star a blowjob, and the object of it was to try and get that the gay guy had to try and get the straight man to come from fellatio.
Oh my god!
Demonetized. Thank you very much.
Stay classy, Japan. Stay classy.
Not for the sex talk, for the homosexuality. YouTube ain't about that life. YouTube's got some problems it's got to take care of.
Yeah, I think I remember like a clip that I saw on Facebook from someone, I forget who, but it was like these 4 Japanese men, and they were like trying to walk up some stairs, and the stairs were like really slippery, and they were all like color coded, and they're trying to walk up these slippery stairs, and you think that they're gonna make it to the top, and then they fall down, and everybody falls down as well. And I don't remember what that show is called, but it was just so hilarious. And man, I swear, like we don't get game shows like that. Even like looking back on like video game like game show bloopers like in the 70s, in which they would be like all out. It's just hilarious. But
it's massive. That's the one you were talking about. That's what I was thinking of, with the lady in the short skirt with the big boots up to her knees.
Mhm.
And she's flying around, and there's a CGI Maze Island and stuff. I'm like,
I think that was.
And then they bring on the 10-year-olds to play.
Yeah, wasn't that Renee Jacobs creepy?
Yes, maybe.
Okay. Because I do recall that when we had Renee on the podcast, she did talk about her years being on Masters of the Maze.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, I think that it's there's even like it's actually kind of funny because Nickelodeon has a new game show that they're going to be releasing sometime in the summer. That it's going to be like. It's like this really crazy game show about preventing people from getting slimed, and the last one standing wins. This definitely reminded me of an old rejected game show from the 90s that they never did. They would have 100 kids and there'll be all these obstacles and they had to stand in various spots, and then they would just pour a bunch of slime on it.
Whoa. What did Google decide to do there? Patricia, everything was going fine, and then there's a slight pause.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My finger's just going off. Sorry
right now it decided to bring you back, but drop your octave 3 times.
I'm so sorry. Let me fix this.
I was worried it was just me. I was sitting here trying not to react, and the whole time I'm thinking to myself, what the hell is going on? I'm used to weird shit happening,
that was just
internet.
Patricia stopping for a 5-carton smoke break. Just
I'm back. Do I sound normal now?
There we go. That's good.
You sound fine now. I
have no idea what happened. My microphone went off. It was static, and my ears were feeling like they were about to explode. And then apparently it made me sound like a man, like I was smoking Marlboros, like Mega Man from Captain N. I am sorry.
It's just funny as all. I was really, really trying not to make the man crack because I was like, don't do it. It's really in poor taste. It's not
Jay,
funny.
for instance, said I had the
really. It was all of a sudden, boom, puberty came back to haunt you.
And I'm 32. Puberty left me a long time ago.
I'm sorry. It's just all of a sudden, it's your normal voice, you're fine. Then there's this give, and then there's hi.
But we got the results of the poll. We got 59 votes. 59 votes. And we've got the number one. The people, if they wish it could be real and available now, what would they pick? Number one out of the choices at 53%. Over twice as much as anything else. Alien 5. Considering the audience, that should have been expected. Very close second and third place. 23 and 22%. 23% goes to Skate 4. And 22 actually goes to the Crow remake. And Transformers 7 gets by about 2%.
Woo! Yes!
It's one person voted for them.
Anyway, I got a $5 question. Oh my gosh, I have a question? No way! By Ryan Walterson, who says, Patricia, were you referring to the new Double Dare or a different upcoming show? No, I am not referring to the Double Dare reboot, although that is actually coming out. I'm referring to something else. I'll have to find the title for it in a minute. But yes, I do know about the Double Dare reboot. Mark Summers will be in it, but he'll be taking the place of Harvey, in which he'll be the co-host. And Lisa, I don't know how it's called, Koshki, who's this very popular YouTuber, is going to be the new host. And I did see pictures of what the new sets are going to look like, and it looks really awesome, really sleek, and at the same time the classic Double Dare look. It's going to be running for 40 episodes. So I'm actually really excited about it. But no, that is not what I'm talking about in regards to the new game show. I'm trying to find out what the name of it is. I'm trying to look it up. Just give me a second. But in the meantime, there's another question from James Mays, who says Creepy Decker need to see Goosh Goosh on YouTube. What is Goosh Goosh?
It sounds like couscous, which I'm not
Yeah,
exactly a fan of.
it does sound like couscous. I'm more of a quinoa person.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, I have no idea. We have no idea what Goose Goose is. So sorry.
Okay. This life. Everyone's just watching me right now. Just hi.
Yeah, you should have been here like a few minutes ago, where it sounded like a guy.
Patricia sounded like a man a few seconds ago because her microphone messed up and it's like she was silent for a second and then came back talking about Nickelodeon. Yeah.
Yes, I came back with a really deep voice that I have no idea where it came from. I am
Patricia
sorry.
had a deeper voice than Decker and I put together. That's the thing. It's like while that was happening, Decker, her voice was deeper than both of ours.
Yes, I again, I really do apologize.
It's
And then
funny.
even somebody like commented like saying I sounded like Dad of Boy. Where I go for Kratos.
All right. So, was there any other news on E3? Like besides the fact that they didn't announce Skate 4, despite all those leaks and rumors?
Well, unfortunately, like I mentioned before, since
we're ordering pizza, and she wrote down, I'm like, I would like chicken and mushroom. And she's like, white sauce? I'm like, yes, please. And she's like, pineapple? No.
Okay, well, unfortunately, because E3 started today, we only have the EA press conference. Everything else starts tomorrow. So, sadly, we are not going to be able to talk about anything else, but we will most likely talk about it in the next episode of Live
and Wired?
Yeah, Live and Wired.
I
forgot. I'm sorry.
That we're doing right now.
I'm sorry, but that whole thing about me sounding like a man is still like really, really shocking to me. I apologize.
James Mays drops $2 and says it's a video on YouTube.
Yes, it is. It is a video on YouTube. All right, so going into E3 2018, EA Play press conference news recap of all the things they announced because, we have nothing else to talk about. Okay. So, who's Creepy? Is it your turn?
Honestly, I don't know, but I will read if somebody objects.
Okay.
I was waiting for Decker to say something like, I figured this would be something you would jump right on, but he just sort of sat there.
Yeah, I mean, it's EA. So at this point, I mean, I wish that we can talk about like Bethesda or Square Enix because maybe we'll have something interesting to talk about. But
Bethesda dropped Fallout 76 like the other day.
Yeah, but sadly, that's Bethesda.
Today is the first day of E3 2018, and EA has kicked things off by dropping some major news at its EA Play press conference. Much of the big news centers around its two biggest upcoming games, Battlefield 5 and BioWare's new IP, Anthem. They weren't the only games that got some attention on the big stage, though. EA also shared updates on Madden NFL 19, FIFA 19, and FIFA 19. And a previously unannounced platformer, Unravel 2.
Technically, FIFA is an acronym anyway. So.
Yeah, that is true. It's essentially soccer or football if you're from if you're from everywhere else.
Right. We've rounded up all of the announcements from the briefings, and below you will find all of our coverage of EA's kickoff event. You'll also check out our EA press conference live blog if you want to re-experience this, as well as our trailer roundup.
Yes. So Anthem was the first one, and again, they have like a whole bunch of trailers, and unfortunately, we cannot see it. So that's one of them. And of course, there's the new BioWare game, the first new IP in 10 years, which is called Anthem. Mm-hmm. And it does look actually pretty interesting. BioWare definitely needs to have a little, a new game, because they were known for like Mass Effect for a long time. And after last year's Mass Effect Andromeda, and them pretty much like having almost nothing to do with it, and they need to like shake up with other than just the Mass Effects and the Dragon Age. So there's that. So it is actually pretty promising. It looks pretty interesting.
David Sharp just dropped $5. Says, Decker, love your content. Long live the summer of Freddy versus Jason! Looking forward to the summer of... Well, I don't know, but I'm psyched anyway.
The summer of Punky Brewster.
Did you ever come up with something to do this summer, or are you just going to keep doing?
I'm working on it.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you were going to actually do something like that, or just keep going the way you kept saying you were going to do, and like trying to cover all the movies of the last 3 months that you missed out on because of oral surgery and a hurricane and everything else, and like with the summer of whatever occur in December, like before.
Oh, that was fun. The never-ending summer of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Technically, I did just as many weeks as were Wednesdays in summer, but that didn't really matter now, did it?
All right, so Battlefield 5. Yes, we're going to be getting a new Battlefield game, because at this point, it's not too surprising.
Yeah, Battlefield. Mm-hmm.
Yes, Battlefield. Command and Conquer. It's going to be a free-to-play mobile game.
Oh yeah, Battlefield 5. The news on Battlefield 5 is they're adding a Battle Royale mode. Woo!
Woo! Hooray! Because they're already becoming popular nowadays. I mean, I played Fortnite not too long ago. Man, that game was so...
There's Rec Royale now in Rec Room on PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
They just patched Battle Royale into that game too.
Mm-hmm.
Next, I'm pretty sure the next generation of Pokemon, when they release that, will also have Battle Royale in it. Because why not?
Well, not necessarily true, because we did see in the new Pokemon game, the one with Pikachu and Eevee for the Nintendo Switch. It's basically like a console equivalent of Pokemon Go, which looks amazing, by the way.
I'm just like it's frustrating because it's like I want to be able to play this with my fiance, and I don't think I can.
It is co-op.
She can't throw.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I'm sure that, there's a way that you guys can be able to play. I mean, Nintendo has been known for like... I
can sit there and play, and she can complain about not being able to play.
Okay, fair enough. Fair point. But yeah, we do. But eventually, I mean, just like when people have been saying, like I would say, like over 10 years ago, when everybody was saying, like, we need a Pokemon MMO that's like World of Warcraft. Now the next generation is we need a Pokemon Battle Royale game.
Yes, let's beat up, these small animals in real time instead of just, in our handheld games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kat Liniskin says back here about Microsoft making a really cool controller for people who can't use normal ones, and yeah, it's good. It's very good that it's so adaptable. So many different things you can plug into it and specialize it. But for my fiance, it's really not very good for her because it's very large, very clunky. It's a lot easier for her to just deal with playing a game one-handed than to try and figure out how to get that hooked up in some way that she can add paddles and stuff and work with two giant buttons. Which is kind of funny because in the trailer they showed a guy there saying, "Oh yeah, I got cerebral palsy and I can't use my right hand, so I have to play like this." And he was like doing perfectly fine. I was like, "Well, he's got a better grip with his left hand than my fiance." But no, he's there like, "Yeah, I need this controller," and she's like, "No, that controller is way too damn bulky and hard to set up."
Mm-hmm.
But it's still good that it's there. It's good that it's there for people who can use it and do need it. It's just it's not for her.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, EA Origin Access. Let's see. Go ahead, Creepy. You can continue.
Let's see. Okay. EA announces Original Access Premier streaming service. Free Origin. I was making sure I was like free Origin Access trial. Oh, okay. Free Origin Access trial. A new streaming service is in the works and is slated to launch sometime this summer.
All right, so more EA games to stream for free. Awesome.
FIFA 19 poaches Champions League license from rivals Konami and
Pro Evolution
is it-
Soccer.
okay, yeah. Pro Evolution Soccer, we'll go with that one. The upcoming soccer game will boast the Champions League license this year after Konami and PES recently lost the same license for the first time in 10 years. FIFA 19 release date confirmed. In addition to the FIFA's release date, EA provided a look at its new soccer/football game. So does that mean it's a soccer game, or does it combine soccer and football?
Also,
Wait, isn't that called rugby?
that's awesome. Do that.
Yeah.
But as far as I heard elsewhere, FIFA 19 on Nintendo Switch also will still not be on the Frostbite engine. They're still going to be using the old engine, but they'll be updating it a little bit. Yay.
Yay. But yeah, I mean, what can they do differently of soccer that hasn't been done in other soccer games? Unless it's like Mega Man Soccer, and if we're going to have Konami and PES, if they lost their license, it's like they're going to take advantage of that. It's like, I want to see Konami characters playing soccer. I want to see, if they can, it's not going to happen. I want to see Castlevania characters, Metal Gear characters playing soccer. I know it's dumb, but I want it.
Griffin Pilgrim says rugby is American football for those with balls.
Yeah.
Well, and, no worries about concussions.
Nope. None whatsoever.
Absolutely none. No way.
Right. Let's go about football, like American football, because everybody loves that.
Oh, should I take over, Creepy?
I think
yeah, you can have this one.
Okay. Madden NFL 19 coming to PC alongside PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Fuck you, Nintendo fans. The upcoming making the first game of the series to hit the platform since Madden 08. For all you people who have very high-end gaming PCs, but for some reason really love Madden.
I was wondering about that myself. I'm like,
This is a very specific,
yeah.
Demographic.
Yet another time where we look and wonder to ourselves, did they plan this out?
Gabriel Torres is saying Mutant League Football. And yeah, that's nice. I liked Mutant League Football. There's Mutant Football League right now, but Mutant Football League kind of has the same problem to me as Mutant League Hockey did, in that it looks more cartoony. And while, yeah, it was more, you could look at the original Mutant League Football and say it's more cartoony. I didn't really see cartoon in Mutant League Football. I saw comic book.
Right.
And
I do remember the Mutant League sports. I think it got made into a cartoon, an animated series.
A very short-lived cartoon series. Your battery's low.
yes, it is. I will change my I will charge my battery now. There we go.
So yeah, Mutant League Football was. Patrick Johnson says prefer Blitz the League. Yeah, Blitz is a pretty good one for those who like their football games to be fun, in my opinion. I'm not one for simulation football. That's just me.
Yeah,
I am the wrong.
And also, if you like cool tricks, there's also NFL Street, in which you can be able to perform badass tricks by running against walls and flipping while running towards the goal, making a touchdown with style.
Is NBA Live 19 release date announced along with new trailer. Woo! During EA Play, the new NBA Live game was showcased with a fresh trailer showing off new features. The game is set to release this summer. I wonder if they improve the squeak of the shoe when you turn while running.
I want a larger echo on the ball when it's bounced.
Star Wars Battlefront 2 adding Clone Wars DLC. As Battlefront 2 has been doing so well. Use stage time during EA Play to talk about the rough start for Star Wars Battlefront 2 and some future plans for the game. Like, we swear, guys, we are not putting loot boxes in. We aren't. Sorry. We're very, very sorry. Clone Wars. You like Clone Wars, right? Okay, Respawn Entertainment Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order will take place in a darker galaxy.
Ooh.
kicked off the EA Play presentation, which finally gave us a look at what's coming next for the Star Wars franchise, which, as far as I know, is a open world Star Wars game. Which is, I mean,
I was thinking it would mean that you're finally going to play a game where the Rebel Alliance is actually the minority and the Empire has the most number of players, instead of the other way around where everyone wants to be a Jedi.
Yeah, that was always fun in Star Wars Galaxies.
Yeah.
Trying to play an Imperial character and you just swarmed by high-powered rebels all the time. It's really, really, really frustrating.
Yeah. It's like I totally remember that. I remember all this like, we're the Empire. We're supposed to be the biggest faction in the galaxy. How is everybody a freaking rebel?
Yeah. But Wolf Pro 1 dropped $5, says, Decker, would you ever review a Nicolas Cage movie, maybe The Wicker Man or Vampire's Kiss? And Wicker Man's one that I was thinking about for a while. Vampire's Kiss, I need to see that. And I think I should. So I'm probably going to review that because I want to see that one more than I want to rewatch The Wicker Man.
The Beast. The Beast.
Not The Beast.
And finally, last but not least, is the newest game that's going to be coming out from EA, which is Unravel 2, which I mean, to be fair, I've never even heard of the first Unravel. What is that?
Yeah, I'm not certain. I assume it's something where you start off with something really folded and tied up, and you gotta figure out, like, in some kind of physics puzzler, how to just, like, I'm trying to open this package from Amazon. It has everything I need to live in it. Dear God, who invented clamshell packaging? Why? Why would you pack a pair of scissors like that? I need scissors to open this pack of scissors.
Right. All right. Well, yeah, that's it for E3 stuff because only EA's conference just came out. Tomorrow will be Microsoft, and then throughout the remaining days will be Square Enix, Bethesda, Ubisoft, Nintendo, and Sony.
I really, really, really hope against hope that maybe, just maybe, they might drop Fallout 4 VR on PSVR. I really don't want to have to get a HTC Vive to be able to play the game.
Decker sits by his bed and prays this at night, and when he does this, God looks down and says, "Okay, I know what I'm doing this weekend."
Yeah. So, because by the time that we're going to be doing our next episode of Live and Wired, E3 would already happen. So I'm going to be discussing about what is to come for the next couple of days. So Sunday, June 10th, which is tomorrow, at 1 p.m. Pacific time or 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, will be Microsoft. You know what? I might as well just share it because I already have the thing open. So you know what? Why not?
I think Cat Lunisca says what Unravel is. It's the cutest great game ever. You play as a cute yarn boy.
Oh, how adorable. Just like this puppy. All right, so Microsoft already has the hardware with the Xbox One X winning out as the most powerful console on the market. This year at E3, expect to hear a lot of games, specifically Microsoft's big three franchises, Halo 6, Forza Horizon 4, and a new Gears of War, plus assume that Crackdown 3 will show up.
Whether or not it's going to be released in the next 4 years is anyone's guess, but it'll be at E3.
Yep.
Think of it like a small version of Duke Nukem Forever at this point.
All right. Okay, so same thing for tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be Bethesda. They'll be covering Rage 2, which we did talk about because Rage 2 was actually leaked right before it was even officially announced by Bethesda. We did talk about that in a previous episode of Live and Wired. And there's also Fallout 76. There's also a few other franchises, including Elder Scrolls 6.
I doubt that's going to... Bethesda has been saying plenty of times how, that's nowhere near what's coming out. Then again, they could pull a surprise. Who knows?
Yeah, they could pull a surprise.
I would love to see Elder Scrolls 6. I'm not even getting my hopes remotely up for that.
Yes, I'm still waiting for my my Tiger Electronics port of Skyrim.
Oh God, I could see that. I could so see that.
Let's see.
Jesus Christ! Someone Photoshop up one, or just fucking make one and send it to me. The Tiger Electronics Skyrim game. I want to have it in my hands. Have them translate Skyrim to left, right on the left side, up, down on the right side.
Just beep, beep, boop, boop, and have shit flash in my face and call it Skyrim.
Okay. Plus, there are still rumors of Starfield, a sci-fi open universe RPG that might appear, along with mutterings of a new mobile game a la Fallout Shelter. So, okay, now this one is actually the wild card because I have never heard of them. Devolver Digital. Has anybody ever heard of them?
I think I own some of their games.
Okay.
Wait, aren't they the ones that made Serious Sam? Or am I thinking of the wrong ones?
I don't have no idea because I've never heard of them. So they're also going to be around tomorrow at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And even the Verge article says, honestly, no idea. They're the wild card when it comes to E3 briefings and the late hour, and the company's existing penchant for messing with folks when it comes to briefings means anything could happen. And they'll be streaming on Twitch and YouTube. Then we go over to the major stuff. Monday, June 11th, will be Square Enix. And there's a lot of talks of Shadow of the Tomb Raider and Kingdom Hearts 3. And there's also some stuff such as the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Oh, yeah. I just checked my Steam real quick. Yeah. Devolver published Serious Sam. It was developed by Crow Team.
Okay, so maybe they are. Maybe I think I did hear something about it. They were going to make a new Serious Sam game, so maybe that's what they're talking about. At least as a rumor, as far as I've heard. Similar to like the Animal Crossing game coming out on the Switch.
Okay, Devolver. Patrick Johnson says the people behind Hotline Miami, and they also released a movie about sex robots. Yes, really.
Lovely. I have heard of Hotline Miami. I don't know about the movie, so sorry. But yeah, I did hear some news about the Final Fantasy VII remake that they're looking for more people to. They're hiring them for the game, which a lot of people assume that they're probably going to be revamping the game again, and it's probably going to be delayed for at least a couple of more years. And as for Kingdom Hearts 3, it's a huge decision point in which either the game is going to be released this Christmas or the following couple of months, or it's going to be delayed again for another 3, 5, 10 years.
Kevin Burdine is saying that they're talking about no assets from mods for Fallout 76. Creation Club only. And does anyone have any opinion on that, or am I the only one that knows what that means in this?
I have no idea what that means.
I've modded the hell out of my Bethesda games. So.
I've never modded games before, so while I know what modding is, at the same time I'm like, as far as the news goes. Excuse me.
Well, there's a huge modding community around Bethesda games. You can get some crazy things and crazy kinds of stuff put together, and some interesting. Do you know that you can make an extremely powerful bikini out of dragon bone, and it's even better than plate mail? Modders do. But at the same time, they're saying here no assets from mods for Fallout 76. Creation Club only. Creation Club is a very controversial thing that Bethesda did, where they just have very small, very basic, barely working mods that they're selling as mini DLC. So it's paid mods, but we're not calling it paid mods, and people don't like that. And I think that's in Fallout 4 right now. I don't know if they have that in Skyrim. They might in the special edition.
Okay.
Yeah, people aren't so happy with it there, and it seems to be that's what they're going with on 76, according to Kevin. So
I see. Okay. Next up is Ubisoft. This will be coming out on Monday. It'll be on 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There'll be more information about Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Insert Mario Odyssey theme song here. First look at The Division. Yes.
Odyssey.
Yes.
Odyssey. Yes. Odyssey. Yes.
Okay. I'll first look at the Division sequel that Ubisoft previously announced. The AC Black Flag inspired Skull and Bones that they announced last year, and hopefully some more concrete gameplay and information on the long-awaited Beyond Good and Evil 2. I'm really, really let down about this one because for those who have played Beyond Good and Evil and such an amazing game of what it was left on a cliffhanger, and we had to wait for over a decade for another installment, and then it's announced we're gonna make it into a prequel. Yeah. I can't wait for Beyond Good and Evil 3 to be a midquel, and then the fourth one to be a sequel, and then everybody's going to be disappointed on it. Thank you very much, Ubisoft. Okay, PC gaming. Same time, same day, Monday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern. A grab bag of general PC gaming news. PC Gamer is promising more unannounced games, unrevealed trailers, and new footage than any previous year. So, yay. All right, now we're getting to the good stuff. So, Sony.
Michael Wolf is saying Half-Life prequel confirmed.
That is what Half-Life 3 is going to be. It is going to be a prequel. We're going to see the main protagonist, Gordon Freeman, as a middle schooler, and we'll get to learn more about where he first got his crowbar. What school did he go to become a scientist?
Right.
Okay, we're done. Okay, so Sony's been pretty clear about its E3 plans. Death Stranding, that very weird Kojima game, which has Norman Reedus in it. Very little information about what that game is, even after like so many teaser trailers and interviews. Ghost of Tsushima, which I've never heard of, the new Spider-Man game from Insomniac, and The Last of Us Part 2, along with news from other independent and third-party developers. Expect Destiny 2's new Forsaken expansion, but there could be surprises. There could be a God of War DLC, Horizon Zero Dawn sequel, something new from Bloodborne developer From Software. We'll have to wait and see.
And the PlayStation 5!
Yes, and the PlayStation 5, because we did discuss about in the last episode that the PlayStation 4 is on its last legs, and they'll be probably announcing the PlayStation 5 maybe either this E3 or the next one, who knows. And of course, last but certainly not least, is Nintendo. Super Smash Bros. For the Switch, and Fortnite for the Switch, Metroid Prime 4 for the Switch, probably some other surprises. Maybe Fire Emblem. Basically expect Switch news. Yeah. Tuesday, that will be the last day of E3, and it'll be on 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'm really looking forward to this because I want to know more information about the new Smash Bros. Game for the Switch.
See,
and Metroid Prime 4.
I'm a very simple man. I just want Fallout 4 VR on PlayStation VR, and I want Fallout 4 on Switch. I pretty much want to do the same thing I did with Skyrim, except with Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
Just play it all the time. Put my face in the game. Be like, oh my God, I'm in Skyrim. Kill it, Jack.
All right. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it for the schedule of E3. So, what are your predictions of E3? Like, what would you like to see on E3? What are your E3 dreams?
I think I already said mine.
Okay.
For me, huh? Well, we already got Super Mario Odyssey, so I'm, as far as anything Nintendo related, or I don't know. I do have a thought. A sequel to the Ghostbusters video game, that had Dan Aykroyd and all the actual voices of it. Let's see a sequel to that. Basically, in other words, a sequel to Ghostbusters 3, the video game.
Yeah, that'll be fun. What would this be? Ghostbusters 4?
Ghostbusters 4, I guess, or Ghostbusters 2, the video game, or the return of the video game, but I don't know. There's just something awesome about getting a Ghostbusters game that A, doesn't suck, and B, actually tied in so well to the movies, which, that has its own unfortunate history, so that was alleviated a bit.
Michael Wolf is asking without Harold Ramis.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Could get a sound-alike. It's not going to be the same, but you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's not. I mean, if you that's what they're doing in the movies now, anyway. It's get some guy, just put his face on your face. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
No one will notice.
Okay.
I did have some ideas. Like one thing I want is to hear more about what exactly are we getting with this 76 Fallout. And I do hope it is not what some people are saying. It's a Ark Survival Evolved / Fortnite Battle Royale Survival Build-A-Lot kind of game.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that's not the case, and I hope it's a lot closer to what we got in Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, but with a co-op component. Like, you could have your base building as long as it's a lot more. It's a lot easier to do than what you had in Fallout 4, and just a little more intuitive. Have that in there. Have your co-op component, and just have your nice Fallout adventure with some co-op. I could deal with that. Saying, hey, it's Fortnite in Fallout. I'm like, no, where are the death claws? Oh, they didn't evolve yet. No, you fuckers. That's where I sit.
Yeah. I am the one thing that I'm really excited about is Metroid Prime 4. I've been waiting for a new Metroid Prime game for a long time, even though that the third game did conclude it very nicely, but Metroid Prime Federation Force and the third one left it on really interesting cliffhangers. That was basically that the bounty hunter from Metroid Prime Hunters was going to be going after Samus, as we saw in that cliffhanger of the third game, and briefly mentioned in Federation Force. I would love for them to continue off from that story. And it's going to be a little bit interesting because Bandai Namco is going to be the one developing it, not Retro Studios, because they're working on more Donkey Kong games. And I would I'm really skeptical about it because I already been burned off from Metroid Other M, but Metroid Samus Returns was also a really good game too, and I absolutely adored Metroid another Metroid 2 remake. So that's the one that I'm really looking forward to. And also I'm really curious about The Last of Us Part 2 because I did love the first game, and I did see the teaser trailer as well as some interesting story bits, and there's going to be some more information about that. So that I'm also really curious on where they're going to take it from there. And of course, Smash for the Switch. I mean, I've already seen like a whole bunch of theories and rumors about what new characters are going to be featured into the game. So, we already know about that. The characters from Splatoon are going to be in it, but I would love to see like more characters, featured in. It's always been my dream that to see like Simon Belmont in, a Smash game. I've always wanted to see that.
How about Crash Bandicoot? And his
Ooh.
smash attack is whoa.
That's going to be difficult because Crash is a Sony character, and I mean, unless they want to do like the whole third party thing, like when they invited Snake from
Crash is coming. The Crash trilogy is coming to Nintendo Switch this year.
Okay, yeah, then that could be possible. Yeah, then I would like to see Crash. Sure. Maybe is Spyro going to be on the Switch too? The new Spyro game?
I don't think it's been announced, but it's possible. This is kind of like what I'm saying. I want Fallout 4 on Switch. And a lot of people would say it can't run it. It's like, no, but that's why you optimize. That's why you change things around. Okay. Technically speaking, you could get Fallout 4 running on a PlayStation 2 if you tried hard enough. It would look like ass. It would look like a PS2 game, but you could do it. If the gameplay is what makes the game. So, no.
Sure. I would love to see Rayman in Smash. I would love it. That would be a lot. That would be awesome.
Oh god, Toby Kirkby is like, contemplate this on the tree of woe.
Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Perhaps says they need Ugandan Knuckles with Sonic on the next Smash.
Oh, jeez.
Do you know the way? Yeah, that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
Decker in Smash.
We already had that in the last one. I had Decker in Smash with the Mii character.
Yes, we did.
Actually, I was a gunner.
What would your skill set, like your powers and your skill set, be like? And if you were a Super Smash character,
I'd probably stand there trying to overly analyze something until they kick my ass.
No, I would imagine you would have like ESRB friendly chainsaw hands, and you would just like slash everybody until they
SRB
explode.
friendly chainsaw.
That would be one of your texts. Motherfucking chainsaw hands. Maybe also have like Medusa from the Inhuman Powers, where your hair is alive and can attack people.
It'd be like Bayonetta.
Yeah, Bayonetta hair.
Kevin Burdine saying there can't be super mutants in Fallout 76 because the Master isn't around yet. And that's true, but at the same time, I think with Fallout 4 and hey, these vaults are actually experiments, and that's actually like the majority of vaults. Who knew? I'm pretty sure Bethesda can say, fuck it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just technically Bethesda's Fallout is very different from the original Fallout, and it's been that way since Fallout 3. Like every single Fallout game has a very distinct historical kind of significance to the area. That is like the first, like Fallout 3. It was like, this is Washington D.C., America. Here's the Enclave. They're the United States. Fallout 1 and 2. There was no America. There was no United States. It was more of an Easter egg that you could technically figure out where the map was in the actual continent. But none of that mattered anymore. None of those countries existed. It was just settlements trying to live.
Yeah. DJ Def008 said, Microsoft is the only company without a Smash clone. It's true, because Sony tried to attempt on doing a Smash game, but, the PlayStation All-Stars, but it didn't work out necessarily.
And they've got Brawlhalla on Steam.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that would be kind of interesting. A Microsoft Smash equivalent. We could have Master Chief and the characters from Rare, because they're owned by Microsoft now, like Banjo-Kazooie and Conker, and the characters from Gears of War, and let's see. I'm sure there's like a whole bunch of characters, but yeah, I mean, if you're going to do Microsoft, it's essentially going to be a very bloody game.
Everyone's just going to have guns, and Banjo-Kazooie and Conker are just going to stand there and get the crap kicked out of them and stomped on. And he's this is a perfect analogy for what Microsoft has done to Rare.
Yeah. I mean, not necessarily. I mean, Conker, he can probably dress up as like various characters, like, when he dressed up as like Neo from the Matrix, and he did like the slow motion shooting, or when he put on the robot from Alien and he like killed off the bad guy or something. So Conker could probably fit in, but yeah, Banjo-Kazooie would be a little bit difficult to like, squeeze into mostly characters who have guns and, stuff like that.
Dr. Sigma's asking, hey, Decker, you still doing Patreon-only streams? Yes, the last Saturday of the month at 12 noon Central. That's how I've been doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but yeah, we just crossed the 2-hour mark.
All right, awesome. So not bad for essentially a pretty slow news coverage.
Fortunately, we all love to rant.
Yes, thank you, E3, and thank you for my microphone for like busting out and me sounding like a man for 10 minutes.
Oh. That was like the highlight of the show.
Oh, boy.
And I didn't even need to like burn my mouth with doing it. So, hooray!
Yeah, that's true. Like Decker had a similar thing happen last time when he tried to put hot sauce in his mouth. So, just strictly speaking, does anybody want to see me try that? I'm curious to know. I want to know if anyone wants to see me die on camera.
You do a live and wired poll. See, who do you want to have to eat hot sauce next? And then it'll just come out as me. I'm like, crap.
Everybody wants a repeat.
Yeah. Jay Fernston said those special Cuban cigars. I live in Florida, and Little Havana is not too far away from where I live, so it is possible that I can get Cuban cigars.
And so far, we got a lot of people saying, yes, try it. Sure. Death is fun. So, yeah. Oh, well, this is, I guess this winds down the show for this week. Though we will be having another show next week, Saturday. Patricia says she's probably not going to be able to make that one. But we could see about maybe I'm going to see about trying to contact Teddy Rubskin, see if I can I can work something out with him. That'd be nice. Or it could just be me and you, Creepy. We could just talk video games.
That's true.
Yeah, it's still up in the air, but most likely I will not be available for the next episode of Live and Wire because I'll be moving.
That's a lot of fun. We all know that.
Yep.
Mm.
And I've got pizza.
Sweet. The perfect timing for us to end.
So, I don't know if I'll be doing any gaming streams tonight because I still have a lot of work to do on the script for the next review. And yeah. But I do have another gaming video that I had uploaded already, and I did everything. My 4G went out at the place, so I wasn't even able to update anything that way. So I just had 2 gaming videos uploaded that I wasn't able to post for like a week.
Excuses. It's always the same thing with you, Decker. My teeth are falling out and I need major surgery. There's a hurricane about to blow my home away. I can't feel my legs. My mouth is on fire.
But yes, continuing on, the summer special starts when summer starts. That's the plan this year. And summer doesn't start until the 22nd of June. Or 21st. Either way, point is, not yet.
One day.
Everyone's saying Memorial Day happened, therefore where's the summer special, Decker? Not until summer. Not until summer. So, Creepy, your plans?
My plans. I've got a new DuckTales retrospective episode coming soon. The Scooby-Doo retrospective is coming back. I'm going to start editing it tomorrow. I have my other channel, Midnight Wank Theater. It's a separate channel in case, bad stuff happens like it did last time. But, there's an episode for that. I have finished rendering it, but I have not uploaded it yet because it finished rendering. It started rendering before Live and Wired went live, and I did not want to have the problems with my connection and me breaking up in the middle of the broadcast like before. So I am going to upload it once the show ends tonight. But that's going up, and let's see, think. More reviews coming, basically, and Decker and I have talked about doing a crossover, but so far he has not said exactly what. So I don't know what's the status on that.
You see, there's this thing with my teeth and this hurricane and this hot sauce and the moving and the internet.
Yeah. I'll accept the internet excuse, but nothing else. Patricia, what about you?
Let's see. I have a few episodes of my podcast, Casual Chats, coming out. First of all, on Tuesday, which is on the 12th, I'm going to have 2 very special guests that I'm going to be interviewing in honor of a upcoming book. I can't really say the full details of it yet, but it's going to be really awesome. This is based off of a very popular animated series that's been going on for a very, very long time. And you'll get to hear more stories of the behind-the-scenes stories of one of the person's perspectives. Can't say too much about it, but yes, on the 12th, that is when it'll be out. But I can say what the next episode after that is going to be about. A while back, I did record an episode of Casual Chats with my friends discussing about the original Fooly Cooly in honor of Fooly Cooly Progressive, which has been airing on Adult Swim. And we looked back on the original, and it is quite a really surreal, strange anime that it's...
Penis robots!
Yes.
Forehead penis robots, no less.
Yes, very much so. Penis robots, back massages with somebody's chin, feeding, toast with their mouths.
If anyone just came in right now, they have
hitting a person's head with a guitar similar to El Kabong.
Just continue.
A huge bump on a person's head that turns into a giant robot. Yeah, it's insane. So, but yeah, that's and then afterwards I have a couple of other stuff that I'm planning. Pix Mix, which is the Pixar podcast that I do with my friend Aaron Mehta. We're wrapping up. We just covered the last few episodes of Pix Mix. We watched the last episode movies right before we're going to be doing The Incredibles 2, which should be coming out maybe in the next couple of weeks or so. So yeah, and then afterwards we're going to be discussing about like our top 5 favorite and least favorite Pixar movies. So yeah, that's what I have coming up.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm hoping just that I'll be able to move that dresser into the new place. That's my future plans, right? So yes, this has been Live and Wired episode 12, Nostalgia Hell. And next week, the episode 13, the E3 special. Yes, it's not going to be 2 weeks from now. It's going to be next week because too much stuff happened on the off week for Live and Wired. It's like, God, why every time? So,
well, if it is next week, then I'll definitely be there. 2 weeks from now, I can't.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, that was the plan I had for next week.
Yeah,
7
but
days
yeah, I
from
will
now.
definitely. Yeah, I will definitely be there for the E3 Live and Wired. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, good. I could still see about inviting
Teddy Ruxpin.
Teddy Ruxpin. Yeah,
Mhm.
if I can remember his name.
Right.
As it's easy with creepy. It's like that long-haired creepy guy. There we go. It's just perfect. That's why we just hit it off right from the beginning.
All right.
It works with my inability to remember who the hell anyone is.
That's true.
So, this has been Live and Wired. Now, the words of the exiting of the show for the byness and the thanking for the watching and the commenting and the participating and the donating.
Yes.
I guess that's a little too on the nose here. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Oh, and Gabriel Torres, I did see Abinobashi Magical Shopping Arcade. I saw that in college, and Jungle wa Ichimo Hare no Chegu are quite trippy anime. So, thank you for the suggestion.
Mm.
Good night.